Happy Tuesday and welcome back to our podcast conversation on prayer. This week we are having one of my favorite conversations, which is about the Lord, His love for us, and how we in prayer can encounter Him in some powerful ways. And over the next several weeks, we're going to learn a little bit more about how God can help you in your prayer life. And yesterday we began the whole conversation by diving into one of my favorite quotes. It comes from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 2567. And as we unpacked a little part of that yesterday, I told you that we would be in there all week long. And I'd like to reread that with you this morning and then take a little nugget out again today, which I think is going to just give us great hope. And I'm going to pray for some confidence today in all of us. So how about together we look at Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 2567. I'm going to read it for you again today, and then we'll mine a little nugget there. Quote, God calls man first. Man may forget his creator, hide far from his face. He may run after idols or accuse God of having abandoned him. Yet the living and true God tirelessly calls each person to that mysterious encounter known as prayer. In prayer, God's initiative of love always comes first. Our own first step is always a response. End quote. Lots of encouragement in that quote. I can't encourage you enough to pray with it. In fact, that's going to be our homework today, but I want to steal a little bit of that quote and unpack it for you today. It says that God's initiative of love always comes first. God's initiative always comes first. God's the one who's reaching out to us. I told you yesterday that prayer is a seesaw, not a swing, right? It takes two people. There's another person involved in our prayer, and I just want to acknowledge that for a lot of us, we don't hear God speaking to us and we don't see God. We often don't feel God's presence. And so sometimes we can wonder if we are alone or if we're just talking to ourselves. And if you've ever felt like that, I just want to offer some words of encouragement to you today. God always takes the initiative. That's what we see in Christmas. That's what we see in the incarnation, right? God is the one who's longing to reveal himself to us. So he reaches out to Mary. He takes the initiative. He's the one who sets the whole thing in motion. God is the one who is revealing his deep and profound love for us. And that's the same in prayer. I can give you a little graphic example, right? I have kind of rediscovered our little chapel here at the rectory lately, especially last week. And there's a blue chair that's in that chapel. And as I get up early in the morning and I go to the tabernacle, as I go to the Lord, as I go to pray, and I'm about to sit down in that blue chair, right before I got there, God got there, right? So when I sit down in the chair, God's already in the chair waiting for me. He's taken the initiative to reach out to me, right? So I'm never alone in prayer. So wherever your favorite place to pray is, whether it's in the car as you drive or whether it's at home or at work or at lunch or late at night or early in the morning, in a chapel or in a very maybe ordinary place. Before you pray, before the first words come out of your mouth, God's already there. God is the one who placed the desire in you to pray. God is the one who's giving you the discipline to actually do it. God is taking the initiative in so many ways so that you and he together can experience communion. I want to encourage you today. I want you to have confidence today. I know that for some of us, prayer might be dry or might be difficult, and maybe you feel alone a lot. And I want to speak to your heart now that you are not alone. That God is a God of initiative, and he's the one who has led you to listen to this podcast. He's the one who has led you to attempt to pray. He is the one who is reaching out to you. Regardless of whether you feel him or not, does not change the fact that he is there. It doesn't change the fact that who he is. He is initiative because that's what he does. He reaches out to us at all times. Be not afraid. Be confident today as you pray and believe that God is with you, longing to be in communion with you. If we can simply be confident that you don't have to say the right words to get his attention. You don't have to find the magic scripture passage to lure God to be with you. You don't have to be in a certain state of grace in order for God to pay attention to you. Regardless of where you are and what you do, God is still reaching out to you today. And for your prayer, I would encourage you to just read that quote from the Catechism, number 2567. If you don't have a catechism, just Google Catechism 2567. It'll pop up there. If you've got a catechism, look into it, whether it's on your phone or in paper there. But read 2567 today. Let that kind of bathe your heart. And be reminded that wherever you are today and whenever you pray, that God's initiative of love is always first. Looking forward to being with you tomorrow. Enjoy your prayer today, and God bless you.